Welcome to Wall Street Confidential. The stock of the week literally is Citigroup. And I want to ask Jim, what needs to happen now for the company?
Well, it's a zombie now. It trades like an AIG, meaning that you know that the government's not going to let it fail, but you also know there may not be the upside to the common. I went over the AIG presentation in preparation for coming in and talking about Wall Street Confidential, the town hall they gave Monday. I'm not a defender of Citigroup. I'm not a defender of Vic Panda. He's on my wall of shame. But the bank's in better shape than people realize. Now, it's not good enough shape, and there were things that could have been done. They could have raised more equity. They should have been selling more divisions. They were not proactive enough. They do have a good fee base. I guess what I'm saying is that the businesses are worth a lot more separate than together, and that this is a company, reminds me of the old Chase and Chemical, where there were so many different divisions. There was so much that was there. And obviously now with JP Morgan, it is the best bank. But Citigroup has the capability to bring down every bank, sure, the short term, because you have an image that if Citigroup gets taken over by the government or takes a big position, obviously they're not going to be able to pay a dividend. It's obvious that the banking system's far worse off than we thought. So it's obvious that Wells has to come down and JP Morgan has to come down and Goldman has to come down and Morgan. There's also a lot of ETFs focused on finance, and they get pushed down, and there's a lot of raiding going on by shorts. Did the shorts break Citigroup? Yeah, I think they did. When you look at the presentation, I think you would think that Citigroup had a longer period of time. Citigroup, like Citigroup, like JP Morgan and Wells, although a little bit less because they don't have any option arms, but they would have benefited from TARP had TARP been carried out the way it was supposed to be, where there would be loans you could sell to the government. There's two things that occurred in the financial system that wrecked it. One was letting Lehman die, and the second was letting TARP die. And both of the Lehman die was Tim Geithner from the Federal Reserve Bank in New York, who just completely misjudged it, but people don't seem to care because he's now going to be Treasury Secretary, I guess. And then Paulson's TARP, which was a bait and switch situation, and it's an ignominious era, and the era is what killed Citi. Citi was not well run. Panda was indecisive, but it shouldn't have been sent down so quickly because it's just not that bad a situation. The SEC's complicit too because they've never stopped any of these raids.
Now my question is, I've been hearing, Citigroup is too big now to manage, so it needs to sell off all its assets. Isn't Bank of America sort of following Citi's big model now? So going down the road, how do we avoid this situation
Bank of America has been very hurt by no TARP because a lot of what Bank of America needed to do was send its loans to TARP. So you can see that situation collapsed when TARP collapsed. So I don't know what to do with Bank of America. I think that it was ideally suited for the changes that Paulson was setting up. And now Bank of America has to wait to see what the Obama administration is going to do. It's a very discouraging time to own a financial.
Okay, thanks so much, Jim Cramer. And for more of Jim Cramer's analysis on the banks, check out realmoney.com.